has a jobs plan that he says won't cost taxpayers a dime. He's a rising Republican star. Senator John Thune of South Dakota joining right now. Senator, good to see you back.
Good afternoon, Neil.
What's your plan?
Well, what we're trying to do is provide an alternative to the plan the Democrats have on the floor of the Senate right now. Their plan raises taxes by $70 billion, spends $126 billion, and actually adds almost $80 billion to the federal debt. They just insist on continuing to borrow and spend and raise taxes to finance a lot of this. What we've done is said we're going to take a different approach, that the American people want to see a signal from Washington that we're serious about eliminating wasteful spending, and we want them to know that Republicans intend to take steps to get rid of that wasteful spending and to start demonstrating some fiscal responsibility in Washington. So what our proposal does is, instead of raising taxes, it cuts taxes. It also spends $100 billion less, cuts spending, and it leaves us $55 billion to help pay down the federal debt. So we're going to have a very clear alternative for senators to vote on when this comes to a vote next week, and we think this is an important issue for us to be debating, and we hope that the American people will start weighing in, because I think they're tired of all the spending, all the taxing, and all the borrowing that continues to put a bigger and bigger burden on future generations.
But there's more to it than that, is there not, Senator? Because I believe, if I'm reading my Washington gossip correctly, you've been somewhat quietly critical of some of your Republican colleagues for getting the appearance, even though you didn't say the appearance was fair, of being the party of no, that you guys had to come up with ideas of your own, alternatives of your own. Is this in keeping with that and your concern that Republicans are being labeled as just no, 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 no?
Well, I think when you're saying no to an expansion of government and more spending and more borrowing and more taxing, that's an okay thing. But we also believe that, yes, we're going to provide a clear alternative. We think that the American people need a choice, and we're going to offer them that when it comes to November. And it starts by sending a very clear signal now that we are serious about this issue of fiscal responsibility. It's one thing to talk about it, and the President does that, and the Democrats do that. It's another thing to show leadership. And the best way to create jobs right now and to grow the economy is to get federal spending under control, keep taxes low, and quit piling more and more onto the federal debt. So this is about jobs, it is about the debt, it is about spending and taxes, and we are going to provide alternatives, and we think that that's something that the American people have every right to expect from us. And so yes, we're not going to just say no to what they're proposing.
All right, then okay, but while I got you, Senator Reid wants to continue the homebuyers tax credit, I think, through the end of September. Are you for or against that one?
To the homebuyer tax credit?
Yes.
I haven't looked closely at that. If there are people who, through no fault of their own, and because it takes a while for banks to process this, have not been eligible for that tax credit, I'll take a look at doing that. But that's a separate, sort of concept and idea from what we're talking about here. What they're talking about here, of course, is extending some tax breaks that have been in law before, and then extending a whole bunch of new spending programs, and then not paying for it. And so what we're saying, let's pay for it, and furthermore, let's do some things that actually reduce taxes and spending.
Senator, thank you very much.
Thanks, Neil.